Daniel Jeremiah is this one. Daniel Jeremiah is saying that now T'Vondre Sweat could even drop, that he can't see him being drafted in the first 2 rounds. He says, to me, the 3rd round would be the earliest I could see him going. And I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't go on day 2 and ended up going somewhere on day number 3. And he's obviously talking about T'Vondre Sweat's latest issues with the DWI arrest. Remember, Dane Brugler pointed out that he had to reassure teams that he was no longer a guy that was going to party, that he was going to prioritize football, and that, he did like to have a good time, but he was being responsible about having a good time. Well, obviously, DWI arrest, it flew in the face of a lot of those reassurances that he was giving those NFL scouts. And now there's another report from Dane Brugler, comes from Marcus Mosher, but he says, one quick note from Dane Brugler on the Athletic Football Show, Texas D tackle T'Vondre Sweat was, quote, pushing 390 pounds, end quote, during the college football playoffs, which is crazy. At first, I got to go back and look and see, how well he moved, because he looked like he was moving really good to be pushing 390 pounds. Let's just say that's an exaggeration. Say he was pushing 380 pounds. At least that would mean that, remember I said he needed to lose 12 to 15 pounds before he went to the combine, ideally? Well, maybe he did. And when he got to the combine at 366, hell, maybe if he was pushing 380, maybe he did lose about 12 pounds going to the combine. Maybe he's 367 when he went to pro day. And we kept asking, man, why isn't he trying to lose, 3, 4, 5 pounds just to show the NFL scouts, hey, I can control my weight if I need to. I know it's a red flag for you guys, but I can control it. Because at 366, 367, guys, he's going to go into the NFL as the heaviest D tackle in the league. And he'll go to and he'll be the heaviest D tackle by like 7 pounds. And Vita Vea is I think right now the 2nd heaviest D tackle, and he's at 345, 346. And I'm sure maybe he plays a little bit heavier than that. But yeah, if he's pushing 380, if he's over 380, 390 in playing weight, then that's way too big. But I will say he moved amazingly well if he was that big, and he looked really good. And you're going to get him the lightest he's probably ever been. If you're getting him at 366 in the draft, but that is also dropping his draft stock, Patrick. The red flags about the weight. There's some people that believe that he can't control that, and that's why he came to the combine 366, 367, because he can't really control it the way that the coaches would like him to be able to.
Yeah, I will throw in something else that I read the other day that I just looked back up. That Matt Miller, because I'll throw in a positive scouting report that I saw.
Yeah.
That Matt Miller did a top 10 mock draft where he talked to scouts, and he asked scouts to do the mock draft for him for the top 10 picks. And they actually took Byron Murphy in the top 10 picks in this scouting draft. They took Byron Murphy at number 9 to the Bears. They said, from an AFC South area scout, Murphy is a legitimate game changer who is just scratching the surface of his talent. We can't believe he's still available. Murphy on the inside and Montez Sweat on the edge will wreck things for offenses. And look at how much interior defensive tackles are getting paid today. Murphy is a huge value on a rookie contract. So that is a scout saying that he was a top 10 value and a top 10 pick from a scout saying Byron Murphy. So that's higher than we've seen in any mock drafts, where he's now slipping to the 15 to 20 range. But that scout, whoever that one is, believes some high things for Byron Murphy.
I read earlier in this show, actually, that Daniel Jeremiah put out there via NFL Network to add to what you just read there. When it basically was questions to answer before the draft. He said, who might join Byron Murphy as a potential riser into the top 10? So Dan Jeremiah believes that too. He said there are always late draft risers and prospects who go higher than expected. And Darren Jeremiah was asked about a few of his favorites. And the first one he listed was D tackle Byron Murphy. For similar reasons, he says in the post-Aaron Donald NFL, is that a top-tier defensive tackles are in short supply. He said it's a league that has placed ever more premium on defensive tackles. Remember, I told you guys, now D tackle is a premium position.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys that for the last year or so. And you want premium positions very cheaply, just like you just brought up there, Patrick. And he says, I was talking to a general manager and saying, when you look around the league and we ask who are the true impact defensive tackles, maybe 7 or 8 of them edge rushers, it goes a lot deeper than that. And that's why to your point and to this point here that Darren Jeremiah is making, Byron Murphy is rising up draft stocks. This is also why I believe that if T'Vondre Sweat does drop to the third round, I think a team will trade up for him. I don't think a team will let him drop to the fourth round. Outland Trophy winner, guys can seen as one of the top 3 of 5 best defensive tackles in this draft. There is no way when it's becoming a premium position that teams are going to let that guy who could be an ideal fit for their system drop all the way to the fourth round. Cowboys probably should be one of the teams that thinks about trading for him in that third round. So I agree with you, Patrick. Right now, the fast riser in the draft, some of the pre-draft rumors or pre-draft reports that are helping draft stock seems to be helping my man Byron Murphy.
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
crazy.
good news.
It is crazy. Byron Murphy and T'Vondre Sweat at going into the draft evaluations and like just into the season. Well, Byron will go first, but T'Vondre will be pretty close after him. And now it is just that gap is widening.
Yeah, remember Jim Nagy, the executive bowl, executive of the Senior Bowl. He said that T'Vondre Sweat shouldn't basically drop out of the first round.
Yeah,
that was his. After watching him at the Senior Bowl, he's like, no, this guy should be a first round pick. And now you got people saying he should be a fourth round pick. Unbelievable. You're
crazy.
Right. They've gone in different directions in terms of their draft stock. Bucky Brooks was ranking the top 5 players at every position. There are some Longhorns getting some love from my man Bucky Brooks. He has Jonathan Brooks as his top running back on the board. Overall, he doesn't have any of those Texas wide receivers that are ranked in his top 5, so he's not really high on Texas wide receivers, slot or outside, but he's high on Jatavian Sanders. Still got JT Sanders as the number 2 tight end on his board behind Brock Bowers. And when you look at defensive tackles, of course, he's got Byron Murphy as his number 1 defensive tackle in this draft class, and he's got that's it. He does not have T'Vondre Sweat even in his top 6 defensive tackles. So T'Vondre Sweat, man, losing draft stock quickly, but I think he's going to be a hell of an NFL player and somebody's going to get great value.